to that. So, hi everyone. Hello. Hello, hello. It is Omolara. Nice to see everyone. Omolara Thomas Uwemedimo. I am the CEO and founder of Melanin Medicine and Motherhood, the only company that provides comprehensive personal and professional development support specifically for Black women in medicine and academia. And I'm super happy to be on today. I decided to come on kind of spur of the moment just because I wanted to talk about 2021. Now, for those of you who aren't keeping track, I'm gonna drop a bomb here and let you know that we are less than 5 weeks away from 2021. Now, I know that some people are breathing a sigh of relief. They're like, please don't tell me anything more about 2020. Thank God. And hi, everyone, to everyone who's coming on. Say, hey, hi, how are you, Tiana? Hello. If you're in the Facebook group, give me a hey, give me a hello, pop in the comments, say hi, and then in Instagram as well, please do so. So today we're going to talk about accomplishing and getting what do we need to do to be ready for 2021. And if you're thinking that I'm just gonna wait until 2021 and then I'm gonna get started, you're gonna be way too late. You're gonna be behind. You're gonna be, and I think it's really important for us to think about how we can get ahead of all of this that's going on, right? And thinking about what are the things that we should be doing now. So I have three things that I want to talk to you about today, which includes vision, village, and voice. So I'm going to tell you what all of that is going to mean, but those are going to be the three essential elements that are going to be important for making sure that you are on track for 2021. It's absolutely essential for us to be forward thinking. And a lot of us right now, just due to COVID, are very present oriented. And while that's particularly important, it is not actually the way that we can really leave a legacy and really, hi Chinadu, and really move forward in an accelerated pathway that allows for us to make transformative change in our lives. We actually have to be future oriented. We actually have to be thinking ahead, and that allows for us to make the changes and cultivate the areas that need to be cultivated for us to reach the goals that we want. So what do I want to talk about today? So I want to talk about vision, village, and voice. Okay. And for those of you who are watching, once again, Omolara Thomas Uwemedimo. I am the CEO and founder of Melanin Medicine Motherhood. Okay. So for Black women in medicine, academia, any of you, thinking ahead is particularly important. I know right now we are in a hard place. A lot of us are really struggling, particularly because there is this resurgence of COVID happening here in the United States. And of course, many of you who I get to support and get to encourage are on the front lines. And I think one of the things that we also need to be doing is thinking about if you're in a situation that you're like, oh gosh, this is not definitely the way that I wanted life to pan out for me, what can I do differently? Right? What are the things I can do right now to make sure 2021 doesn't look exactly the same? So the first thing is being vision oriented. So what is it that you want to accomplish in the next 12 months? I encourage you to actually write this down. Writing actually allows for us to retain probably 25% more, and actually 25% more people get things done if they write things down. And so, hi Bookie. And so that is extremely important. So if you're thinking about where is it that I want to be, you might say, I want to have a different job. You might say, I want to be financially secure. You might say that I want to make sure my kids are in a specific, place, in school or whatever that is. The question is, what are you not doing right now that is going to actually have you be able to end up there? So if you want to be financially stable and secure, have you thought about what is it right now that is leading you to not be there, and what is it that needs to be informed into that space? So is it that I need an actual person to support me? Is it that I need to be thinking about diversifying my income and starting to look at other things, my strengths, and what do I do well that I'm not monetizing? Is it that I need to actually take the plunge and actually look at my finances? Like, what is it that needs to be done? Is going to be so important. The second thing is, how are you going to actually make it happen for your vision, right? So a lot of times many of us actually have an idea of what we need to do and what actually needs to happen in order for us to get there. But we are very concerned about how you're going to make it happen, because usually the way that we need to go is always it always requires growth. We always need to get to a new level, and that usually requires some discomfort. It requires us to get out of our comfort zone. And so for you, a lot of times it's about making the choice and saying, am I going to sit and complain about what's been happening to me, or am I going to sit and actually make a move? And it doesn't have to be a huge leap, but it has to be a pivot into some kind of action. Many times, most of us are sitting down and we're researching, we're looking stuff up, we think that we're acting. We're actually not acting. So how are you going to make that happen? Is that going to be having an accountability person that is going to like kick your butt and say, did you do that yet? Did you do that yet? Is it going to be tied to something, that it's tied to something that is really important to you? Like making that shift and saying, if I'm financially secure, then I'll be able to get that car, or I'll be able to get that house that I've always wanted. I'll be able to pay off that student debt that I've always wanted to do. So do you have an internal expectation that can motivate you? And then the third thing is what needs to be cultivated. So usually a lot of times where we need to be from where we are to where we need to be, usually the problem is either a knowledge gap, a skill gap, an attitude or a mindset gap, or it's a person gap, I like to say, which is that you haven't basically made where you want to be known enough to enough people, so that then they're actually aware and are able to say, oh, you need to meet up with this person. Oh, you need to connect with this person, and actually broadening your network to allow for you to get there. So that's going to be really important in terms of the first thing, your vision. Okay. What are you not doing right now? How are you going to make that happen? What needs to be cultivated that you aren't cultivating? Hi, Auntie. The second thing as well is your village. Okay. So the village has to do with a tweet that I actually put out a few days ago, which is about, when we're thinking about where we want to be in 2021, who needs to be in our circle. Many of us have, because of many reasons. A lot of times our circles are close because either we've been, or very small because of either being betrayed, being mistrustful of many people, somebody, and let me know if this is an issue for you in terms of having a really small circle. But one of the caveats about having a really small circle is that now my possibilities are as limited as my circle is. And so one of the things that we talked about in the work that I do, and also with the women I get to support in Empowered, is we talked about, how do you have that personal advisory board? Where is your coach, right? Someone who's helping facilitate growth. Where's your mentor? Somebody who has expertise in the area that you want to grow in, right? Where is your role model? Who is the person that you strive to be like? Maybe you've never met that person, but that's the person that you strive to be like. Who's your accountability partner that's going to keep you on track? Who is your complementary partner? Who's the person who has the strengths that are different from your strengths, but when you work together, it's synergistic because it's going to allow for you to go far, right? I am more of a strategic, visionary person, not the greatest executor. I need a complementary partner who executes, who actually deals with the fine details, working together, that allows for our mission to move forward. Some other things might be actually a peer who's in the same place, has the same goal. Hi, Deusa. And wants to actually go to that same place you do, and knowing that each other wants to do that allows for you to commiserate, to talk, share best practices, share different things that each of you have learned. So these are important things about broadening your village. Many people ask, can the people who are in those roles, can that be the same person for multiple roles? I usually say you want diversity. You want to make sure you have as many people in the roles that they can be, so that you can have a diversity of thought and also diversity and a broadening of your network that allows for you to accomplish your goals. The third thing that you want to think about is your voice. So we talked about your vision, we talked about your village, and now your voice. Your voice is particularly important in terms of thinking about what are the tough conversations that you're going to need to have, right? You might need to have a tough conversation and self-advocate through delegation and saying, you know what, I need help. I need you to do this. You might have to have a tough conversation and say, this boundary, I need to actually tell you that I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. That's another one that is a tough conversation. The third thing you may need to reveal the problem or reveal the actual goal that you have to somebody. And that's really scary because then it becomes real. And so that's extremely important. So you're going to want to think about, what are the tough conversations that you need to have? Who can help you and guide you in having those conversations? What is it that is blocking you from having the conversation? And thinking about, what if that person says yes? What if there's a positive outcome, right? Wonderful. What would that look like for you? And have that be a motivating factor for you to actually have that conversation. So I just wanted to come on really quickly, really bite-sized nugget thing for us to really start thinking about 2021. And I know that everyone's kind of poo-pooed planning because we planned all these things for 2020 and it was just kind of like a bust. But I would say, 2020 has been a blessed year for me, thank God. And I think that, a little bit of that is by, the grace of God. Or a lot of that is by the grace of God, but a little bit of that is particularly, just due to kind of being steadfast and saying that this has to happen. It's not it's not a like if or a wish or a hope. It's like, it has to happen. So it's really around kind of thinking about being very vision oriented, knowing what it is that you want to accomplish and being laser focused on that and knowing that, writing that down, having a village and expanding your village where you're seeing gaps of people that could support you and moving you forward. You're seeing gaps in roles that need to help you, expanding that village and sending emails, talking to people. And then the third is the voice and making sure that you are so motivated that you actually use your voice to self-advocate and actually move you forward. So those were the things I wanted to talk about. Let me know what your thoughts are. I didn't see any other thoughts in the comments, but let me know what your thoughts are. If you agree with any of this, what do you think is actually really important for getting the goals that you have accomplished for 2021? What are the things that you're doing? Let me know. And once again, if you know a Black woman in medicine or academia, or if you are a Black woman in medicine and academia and you feel like you are struggling, dealing with overwhelm, need support, guidance, confused, stuck, any of those things, on the verge of burnout, then definitely head to my link in the bio or head to my website, www.omolaramd.com. And that is the website for Melanin Medicine and Motherhood, where we really try to support Black women in medicine, specifically in academia, to help them live the lives that they deserve and live more fulfilled lives as they take care of everyone else, right? So I hope you have a good rest of the weekend, because tomorrow is Monday. And let me know your thoughts. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.